but I will catch up everything.
Okay. So who all is with you today on the training?
And no one, but
Just you?
but I can explain. That's no problem. That's not the issue.
Okay. I'm gonna share my screen real quick here. All right. Are you seeing my RTAS screen where I'm logged into your 14th Avenue campus here?
Perfect, perfect.
Okay. I just wanted to go over just a couple things here first.
Okay.
I was taking a look, and it looks like you have staff entered and you have your residents entered, so that is wonderful. And just a couple of reminders in, let's say, in your staff profiles here. We'll want to, when you have somebody that can, either you or someone that can enter the data, we'll want to update the profiles to enter, their date of birth, and if you know any other,
Yes, we do have it.
details.
We do have it. Everything they have to go through the background check, so they have to. So we're gonna do that.
Okay, yep. So for your residents, yeah, you'll want to put in their date of birth for everyone, um, and then we'll want to make sure to add their all of their diagnoses. I know this one looks wonderful. A lot of the other ones don't yet have their diagnoses in, so that'll be on the to-do list as well.
Yes, we are working on it. That one too, because we have to update it one. Um, yes,
Okay. And then I know last time we talked about entering services for each resident,
yes,
and it looks we have some services entered, so that is great. The other thing we want to look at is making sure that they each have specific instructions in them. Let me show you kind of an example here. Where did I go with that one?
yes. I think that's the nurse will do that,
Okay,
and she
yeah,
and
so
she
let's,
and she have a little bit little experience with the art task. So she worked
oh,
before,
great.
so she will help us for those needs because everybody's different.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because these behavior services, they'll just need to be edited so that we'll have, the description of the behavior, the goals that you want for this resident. If you know of any triggers of the behaviors, what
Yes, we do.
interventions
Yes,
you'd
we
like
do.
to
Yes, we do. And
try.
they need that all the time. Right now, we cannot even do the 60 and RMS worksheet with us those information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So just wanted to remind you that I
Yes,
know you
sure.
guys are very busy, so we'll just have to make sure that
Okay.
we get
Yes,
some people.
we'll do that
And
today.
so do you have any questions on anything we've gone over so far? Any questions on services, resources, contacts, entering residents, staff? Do you have any questions on anything up to this point?
No.
Okay. So what we had on our list today would be learning how to enter medications.
Okay.
Um, and I remember you had, did we set up, let me just look here. Did we set up pharmacy for you?
Yeah, Geraton, we talked to them. They just say they will need a code or something. They give
There.
us a code when something happens. So we already talked to them.
Oh, perfect. I will get in touch with them and I will get that code and we'll get that set up. Is that for all three of the facilities? All three of them use the Geraton
Yeah.
pharmacy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll get that set up
Okay.
and then we can go over Pharmacy Connect once we have that in place. So for today, I'm going to go to your test campus. When they give the residents the medications, do you have it so when the pharmacy sends you the medications, like all the medications are in one single bubble pack for that dose, or is it each separate pill is in its own bubble pack?
I think it's a single one, but let me call her.
Okay.
Hello. daawada markay jarato noo keenaan trainingka ku jiray maxay ku keenaan single oo bubble up may ku keenaan mise qaarna waxa lagu keenaa si kale dhalooyin iyagoo ku jiraana la keenaa mise kulligood waxaana loo keenaa bahalkaas oo la bushtas la siinayo oo ma arkino oo bay keenaan maxay keenaan okay bas intaas hello
Yeah.
yeah I think we do both.
You do both.
Yeah.
Okay. So some people have it where their dose is all bunched together in one bubble, and then some other people have it so that one pill is in each bubble.
And you mean it's, I think it's the one bubble.
Just one. Okay, one pill per bubble pack, or one pill per bubble.
Some or you want to know and if they bring it with the two at the same place, you mean?
Sometimes the pharmacy. So if I will pretend I'm a resident. Sometimes if I take 5 pills every morning at 8 o'clock, sometimes the pharmacy will send those 5 pills all together in one little bubble. Or sometimes they'll send
Okay.
5 separate
Good
pills.
question. Good question. Hold on again. I have to ask her that.
Sure.
Okay. waxay haddana na weydiiyeen bal ku jir bal adiga xoogaa waxayna weydiiyeen marka oo daawada oo dadka la siinayo oo bahalka babalka lagu keeno haddii qof uu leeyahay 3 xabo ama 2 xabo ama 5 xabo oo hal mar cunayo subaxii ma mid walba godkiisu ku jiraa mise shantaba hal goday kusoo wada ridaan hadduu shantaas cunayo hal mar yeah okay hadda waa kusoo wacaa ku jira haddana aw ku jira haddii kale line ku jira yes hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, she said, and the second option, I think they added all 5 of them at the same place. One
Okay,
bubble, one
so-
bubble. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll make sure that your medication setup reflects that, and I will.
Sure.
Let me just go in here quick and set that up quick. It'll make more sense then, I think, when we enter these. One second here, okay?
Okay.
Well, I guess, Heidi, I don't need to have that turned on just to enter, to show how to enter meds, correct?
No, you don't.
Okay. All right, we'll make sure that is turned on before your staff start charting. So we'll do that. Okay, so in order to enter a medication, I'm in your test campus here, so we only have the one resident, Robert. We'll click on his profile here.
Where can I see that I'm in the tasty campus?
Up here.
Yeah. I see it. It's, yeah,
campus.
it's right there. Okay.
Yeah, yep. All right, so we clicked on Robert's profile, and down here we'll click on medications. He just, this is your test campus, so there's already a couple of medications in here. So this is what it'll look like when we start adding the medications. I'm going to go over these tabs here. This is current medications. This is the full list of medications that he has right now. If he had any as needed medications, they would be listed down here. And we can enter one as an example so you can see how that works. But you'd see the full list of medications. Schedule shows just the scheduled medications.
Where is this coming from? Is this coming from the pharmacy? Or we have to add it ourselves?
Well, that's a good question. If the pharmacy, once we get Pharmacy Connect in place, they will send over their list of, they will push over their information on the medications they have on file from the doctor.
Yes.
And we will show you how to enter those.
Yes.
From the pharmacy, and then you can compare with your records from the doctor as to, to make sure that they are the same medication.
Exactly. We have that issues all the time. Okay.
Yep. And so if you wanted to add medications manually before you get the information from the pharmacy,
sure,
you can do that. We'll go here to add new medication, and this pops up here where you can start typing in the medication name. I'm going to put in just a as needed medication here for an example. I'm going to choose Tylenol. See how we start typing and then these options pop up?
Yes.
You'll want to choose, one of these from the list.
Yes.
That if it pops up. If it's not on the list, that is okay. You can still enter it. You just want to make sure you have the correct spelling and grammar. So
okay.
We'll choose Tylenol. The strength is the strength of the medication. This per tablet or per, like if I had a 300, well, let's say I had a 500 milligram tablet. That's where we'll enter that here. The route, if you have those all grouped together in the one bubble, you're going to choose by mouth. An as needed medication is not grouped in that bubble because we don't know when that resident will need that as needed medication. So in that case, we will choose by mouth, not from dosage box. So your staff will know that medication is not included in that bubble.
Yeah, it's going to be PRN. Okay.
Yes, and then we'll change this from scheduled to PRN. And that changes a couple of the things down here as far as scheduling goes. We're not scheduling a certain time because it's as needed. Indications, we'll need to put in here what this medication is being taken for. And usually the doctor will give you that reason. They'll say
yes.
to take this for pain or fever. Whatever the reason is, you'll need to enter the indication.
Exactly.
If you have the resident's diagnoses listed on their diagnosis list, you can click this and it will give you a list of their current diagnoses. And if it's one of those reasons, you can just click on that and it will add it to that. Otherwise, you can also free type.
One more I have a question then.
Sure.
So this one, once we save it, what about if the Geraton send it through their feed to come back here, and don't it will create a duplicate?
No, it won't create a duplicate. It will be easier to explain once we have that set up, but it will send you an alert and tell you how many medications the pharmacy has sent through the system. And then what happens is we go into the Pharmacy Connect and we will compare the medications they sent with the ones we sent. And if they're already on the resident's medication list, we merge them together to create just one medication.
And and that training, when it's gonna be that? When are you gonna show me that?
Well, I will have to send send the request to Geraton.
Yeah, yes, later on. Okay, we'll do that. Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
Yep, we will do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, so we put in our indications here why this resident is taking this. And then our active date and time is not the time the resident takes the pill, but this is what time is this going to show up on the MAR, on the medication record for the staff to be able to give. When did this become active for staff to give this to the resident? So our system will default to the next upcoming full hour. So right now it's 2:20, so it rounds it to be able to be seen at 3 p.m. If we have a medication that we want our staff to be able to give right now, we would just back this up to the previous hour so that it will show up immediately for staff to be able to give. Does that make sense? It's not the time we're giving it, it's just the time that it's going to be available for staff to chart.
Okay.
If we had a medication that needed
So
an end date,
can we change it, that active date to instead 27? Can we just say 28, something like that?
if you want it to not be able to be seen until the following day,
Yes. You can do that. Okay. Okay. Good.
you can do that. So say you have a medication that's not scheduled to start until Friday. You would choose Friday,
Yes.
and then the time prior to the time you want it to give to be, to
Yes.
be,
Hold on 1 second. Hello. Yes. 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 Yeah. Oh, okay. No problem. Just email me. Okay. I'm in the webinar. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So yes, if you have a medication that's not due to start until a future date, you can definitely choose that date and time. The system's not going to let you go back because we are not going to be starting a medication in the past. All right. So if you have a medication that has an end date, such as, an antibiotic or something, you could put the end date in here, or you could select 7, 10, 14 days, however many days the order says they are to take that for, and it will calculate that many days for it to stay on for staff to chart, and then it will be discontinued after that time. Since this is
So it automatically will discontinue, or we have to ask to say discontinue, or we just automatically will discontinue?
If you choose an end date, it
Yes.
will automatically
Okay.
discontinue
Good.
it after that date.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to leave this blank though, because this is an as needed medication and we don't have an end date or time.
Antibiotic. Okay.
Yep, and then these two boxes here, every X number of hours or up to X times a day, you only put in one of these options based on what the doctor says. If the doctor says he may take this up to 3 times a day, we can put that in here. The system will calculate that should be no more than every 8 hours. You don't need to put every 8 hours here and every 3 hours here. I don't think it will even let you save like that. You just choose one or the other. Does that part make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Your administration here, set up, I know the pharmacy sends you the medications, but do you have a nurse that reviews your medications and make sure that they are accurate as to what the doctor has ordered?
Yes.
So then this would be nurse setup. And that just means that the nurse is setting up and reviewing that, they're the correct medications and everything. Assist is who's going to be giving these to the resident. If they're giving them their own medications, that would be self. If their family gives, in your situation, family probably is not going to be giving them medication.
It's a ULP. It's going to be...
Yeah, it's going to be the ULP.
Yeah.
Unless, say if there's some sort of injection or something that the nurse gives, then you would choose nurse.
Of course,
for that.
of course.
For your pills, you would just choose your ULP.
Of course.
For an as-needed medication, an administration note is always going to be required, and that's just going to make the staff put in the reason that they're giving this as-needed medication. They have the reason up here that they should be giving it, so then that reason should be matching what they're typing in as to why they are giving it. So note will be required on an as-needed medication. Verify at administration means you want your ULPs to verify that, they want to do their checks and make sure that they have the correct resident and the correct medication. They're giving it at the correct time. So that's what that is checked for. And that will have them check a box that says, yes, I am verifying that I'm giving the correct medication to the correct resident at the correct time. If this were a psychotropic medication or an antibiotic or a controlled medication, you would want to check this box. That will help to pull some different reports if you're tracking controlled medication use, psychotropic use, antibiotics. It will also require, if this were a controlled medication, it will require staff to count the medications. If you want them to do narcotic counts every shift, or when they give an as-needed controlled medication, they'll put the count in as well.
So if you click the control, is still the verify administration is going to be still there?
Yes.
Oh,
yep.
Good. So it's a two different thing. Yeah. Okay, I got it. I got it.
Yes. You could mark any number of these if they pertain.
Yeah, like standing orders. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So since this is Tylenol, we know that it is not psychotropic, antibiotic, or a controlled medication. If you had orders to crush the med, you could click that box. We don't want to hide this one on the MAR because that hides it from staff being able to give it. The only time you would maybe click this button is if you had something on the medication list, such as a glucose testing strip, because the staff don't need to sign that off on the MAR, but it may be on their medication list so that it can be refilled from the pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then you would put in down here, the nurse will put in specific instructions to the staff. So let's say, I could type here. You can also type other information in here, such as, notify RN if pain is not relieved after 1 hour, or you can put any other information in here for your staff to see. If it was a heart medication, you could put notify RN if heart rate is less than 50 and hold medication. You want to give your staff specific instructions as to what to do for this medication. If you had your pharmacy, if we had our pharmacy listed here, that we could choose that. If we knew the RX number, we could put that in. These are not required to save it. If we had the prescriber name, we could choose that. And then we will click save to save the medication. So now you can see on the current medication list, we have our scheduled meds up here, and we have our as needed medications down here. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Do you have a resident's medication list with you? Do you want to practice entering a medication?
Right now? Yeah. Yeah, so let me see.
I can stop sharing my screen if you want to share your screen, and you can practice a little bit and then ask questions as we go.
So that is their medication, right?
Yes, we can either put in a pretend medication in the test campus, or if you have a resident's chart with their real medications, we could go into their chart and start adding some.
So, well, then it's gonna, let me see, it's gonna take, let me see if I can do here. I have to open another computer here so I can see this, the adaptive here.
Okay.
And see what they have right now. So, which we will practice in, and it's a wrapper. Should I go to just a wrapper?
Sure. Do you want to share your screen so I can help you navigate that?
Oh, you wanted me to log in on my own?
If you want, otherwise I can continue showing you whatever you prefer.
Well, if you show me, that's fine. The practice, I can practice later on.
Add a scheduled medication so you can see the difference on that, okay?
I didn't hear you. What do you say?
I'm going to add a scheduled medication so you can see the difference between entering an as needed versus a scheduled medication.
That would be great. Okay.
Okay. So again, you know, we are in the profile and we go to medications, add new medication. Let's add, we can add a, we'll say he has a scheduled fentanyl patch. So this one is a controlled medication. We'll say 25 micrograms is his strength. The route is transdermal. We'll say it's scheduled. Indications.
What is that? What does that mean? Root transdermal. What that mean?
So transdermal is for a medication patch. So fentanyl sometimes will come in a patch.
I see.
So if you, like even a nicotine patch or any other medication patch, that route is how it's given to the patient. And transdermal is on the skin.
Sure.
Through a patch or through the skin, I should say. We'll say it's given for chronic pain. We'll make this active date and time. We can say that this is going to start tomorrow morning. If his meds are scheduled at 8 a.m., we will make this available for staff to see at 7 a.m. just so that it will be available for them to give for that 8 a.m. dose. We'll say this is ongoing, so we don't need to put in an end date or time. Medication will be provided. So see how this looks a little different than the as-needed medication where you put in either how many hours or how many times a day?
Yes, but you have to select it and schedule it, right? Not BRN. Schedule. It have to be scheduled.
This one is scheduled.
Yes.
So for when we schedule this, if it's daily or more often than daily, such as twice a day, 3 times a day, we would choose daily. If we needed to say it was 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., we would go here and we would choose the first one, 8 a.m., and we're going to choose the provider that will be giving that. That'll be the day shift. And the system knows that based on 8 a.m. that's the day shift. Then we would click add new time, and then we could choose 8 p.m., and then that's the evening shift. If we had a medication, usually fentanyl is a patch that's given every 3 days. So we would choose we could do every X days, and it would be every 3 days. So you can choose from the drop down here. Maybe it's something that is given once a week, then you can choose that and choose which day it's given on. Or if it's given maybe 3 times a week. So you have a lot of options as far as being able to schedule the medications exactly how they're ordered.
So then after that, I have to say, let's say I choose it Thursday, and Friday, or, something like that, then should we have to add and add new time? Yeah,
Okay, so
just multiple.
yes, yep. If you're giving it once a week on Friday, then we would add what time on Friday.
What about
We
it's a
don't
2 days? If it's a 2 days.
Sure, then you'll pick if it's given at the same time on both days,
Yes,
then you would do that. If it's a medication that's given say Friday morning and Monday evening,
I see.
then we would enter it as two separate medications.
Time. Okay.
It would be a different medication
Okay.
if it was at a different time weekly here.
Okay.
But if it's at two different times on the same day, or if it's at the same time every week, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll say this is given every 3 days. We can say that it's given at 8 a.m. If you want to look and see what time your resident is currently getting medications, you can see, oh, they're getting these medications at 8 a.m. and these medications at 8 p.m. by clicking the show current schedule. And that way you'll know, if you want to schedule them for the same time.
Same time,
so
yeah. That makes sense. So you know what they scheduled for other one. Yes, yeah, okay.
Yep. Simplified time means either AM, bedtime, midday, overnight. Usually with medications, they're usually at a more specific time because medications themselves are usually more time sensitive as to when they're given. If this is scheduled for a simplified time under this drop-down list, your staff has that entire shift to be able to give that. So that's really not usually appropriate for a medication. We usually will choose a specific time for medication.
Sure.
Okay. So setup will again be the nurse if the nurse is the one verifying the medications that are sent from the pharmacy. Assist, is probably going to be your ULP. Administration note is not required when you're scheduling a medication, but you can make one required. In this case, since this is a patch, maybe I want to put on here that a note is required so I know where that patch was placed. If I know the patch was placed on the resident's right arm, I can, have something scheduled to remind staff to make sure it's in place each shift. So that's a nice way to know that where they need to look to make sure that patch is in its place.
Yes.
So then when they chart it, they'll chart where it's located. And then you notice this controlled medication, this is already checked.
Yes, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, because they know the medication. Yes. So, okay.
Well, yep, show you, it's on your, what we call your global medication list. When we started typing in this box up here and we were able to choose from the list of medications, that pulls from what is known as your global medication list.
Yes.
And that is effective for across all 3 of your campuses. And I will show you how to look at your global medication list, and then you can add or edit or make changes to it if you need to.
Sure.
So then we would put our administration instructions in here. And again, you can put whatever instructions in here you need your staff to know for this medication. Heidi, do you normally see if it's a patch, do they usually put in a separate service to remove the old one, or is that usually included in when they place the new medication?
Something like fentanyl where it's,
Yeah, that's exactly the one I'm doing right now.
that would be fine. You don't need a separate script.
Okay, so you could, if, you know, you could put your instructions to your staff in here to remove old patch.
Perfect.
Yeah. So any details you need them to know. And again, if this was a medication that was sent over through Pharmacy Connect, they would already have the pharmacy details, the
Sure.
RX number, and the prescriber.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can click save here. So now that is on the list here.
Oh, schedule it. Yes.
Yes. So your global medication list that I was talking about, in order to view your global medication list, you click on the Today screen and plus more. And down here under administration, we have the global medications. And this is the list of medications that the database is supplied with. Some of the medications that are known to be controlled have already been checked as controlled substances. However, if there is one that you find is not checked, you can always check that if you're wanting your staff to count that. You can, if you need to mark something as an antibiotic and it's not marked, you can do that. You can search up here for specific medications. So let's say fentanyl, like we just did. It will show you over here. These are actual brand names that are known to be fentanyl, and then we have some generic. So it gives you, shows you a lot of options, and you can see they're all marked as controlled as they should be. It also tells you right now we have this one in use one time. So that's the one we just did that we just assigned to that test resident.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you have maybe a brand new medication that is not on the list, you could either enter it like we did, or you can come here and add a new medication to your global medication list.
Okay.
Okay.
It is not there. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So any questions on that? The only people that would be able to edit your global medication list would be the users with the 411 role, and I believe.
Can you search? Can you search like metformin? If it's in a list.
Yep. So any medication that has metformin in it, because a lot of them are combination met.
So all of them, and they have it. Okay. So
Yeah.
they have a lot of names, different names. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I see. I see.
But not all of your staff will be able to come here and
No.
manage things.
No.
You have that 4-1 role, so you will be able to do that. Trying to think, I was going to say something. I can't remember what I was about to say. Oh, once you do get Pharmacy Connect, this you will see here like a little blue number that will tell you how many medications the pharmacy has sent over, and this is where we will go once we have that set up, and I'll show you how to merge them into the existing medications or add them new. This blue question mark here, anytime you see this blue question mark, you can click on it, and it will give you links to our support documents in how to do different things. So like down here, how to enter as needed medications.
Oh, I
Maybe
see.
you forgot how to do that, you can click on that, and that will take you here to our support site, and it will give you step-by-step instructions in how to set these up. So that is a really nice feature that we have.
Sure.
And then the other thing is if you click into a medication and you see this blue eye, and your staff will be able to do this too. They can click on this, and this takes you to a site that it keeps it up to date, and it has information about the medication that we clicked on, and it has things such as, you know, if what it's prescribed for, if there's any warning signs or side effects, and that
what is described for? Where can I see that?
Okay, so if we're in, your staff will be able to see this when they go to give a medication, and you can see this in any resident's medication list. If you click on one of the medications here, any one of them, they will all have that blue eye by it.
Yes.
And you click on that, and it takes you right to this site that has information about that particular medication.
I see.
So it's really nice. It keeps it up to date. Sometimes, you know, they'll enter new side
But
effects.
if I want to know what's that medication is taking for, what should I click?
Well, the doctor should be telling you what they're taking the medication for. Because
Okay.
a lot of times, medications are prescribed, but they're sometimes prescribed for an unusual reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes a resident will be taking a seizure medication, but it's for their mental health.
I see.
So we really don't want to rely on that site as to, you know, put in the reason why the resident
Always follow the doctor's order. Okay.
Yes, that will just give you a lot of good information. Like sometimes it'll say, you know, don't crush this med, or, you know, something like that may be helpful to know. But it's just a good thing to know that you can go to that site and get more information on those medications.
I see.
If we needed to edit the medication, we can click this box here. So again, we were on the medication list, and we clicked into a medication, and if we click edit, that will allow us to edit some of the information on here. There's strength, route, the indications.
And only this one can, staff cannot do this one, right? The staff cannot do, you have to be administration, right?
They would have to have the role to be able to add and edit. Let me show you on a staff profile here. So in security, this would be the resident data access. So medications, they would need this role can add or edit medications. If you don't want them to be able to do that, then you would not give them this role.
I see.
You would probably want only administration and your nurses to be able to do that.
Which one? Medication, right? Can edit medication? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So let's go back. Let's go through those buttons again here. Yes. So if we needed to edit the information here, it gives you certain things you can edit. Notice that we can't reschedule from this screen, but you can edit any of this information, save it, or if you need to reschedule, this is a separate button here. You can change the times here.
Okay, yes.
Okay. This is also a way you can put a medication on hold. Maybe the doctor says we want him to hold the medication and not take it for 3 days before surgery. So you can, maybe the doctor says he needs to stop this medication on Sunday, and then you can restart it, you know, on the 3rd, whatever the doctor says. So this will take it off of the list for your staff to give from the 31st to the 3rd. So that's a nice way to put it on hold, and then you don't need to remember to go back in and restart it. The system will
exactly, automatically will restart it. Okay.
Correct.
What about if can we just say hold forever?
Right here. Yep, this hold button. If the doctor puts this medication on hold,
yeah,
says, let's hold this. I'm gonna watch his blood pressure for a little bit, and then we'll see. So if you don't know when it will be restarted, you can click hold.
I see.
And it says medication will be on hold immediately and will not be available for administration until the hold is removed. So if I click confirm, then you see it puts this little hold flag by that medication.
Yes.
So that won't show up on the to-do list for your staff to give. It will be on hold. And then, if you needed...
What about if the doctor say, okay, now, and don't it's going to be new schedule, if the doctor say, okay, now he can take it again?
Correct. So then you can click on this again, and you'll click remove hold. And then it says this medication's hold status will be ended and administrations will resume. And you can click confirm, and then it will be back
again on that day. Okay.
Yep. And then if you had a medication that the doctor wanted you to discontinue, you can click discontinue. And if you want to put a reason in, you can, but you don't have to.
I see.
Maybe it was not effective or no longer needed or something, and then you would click confirm.
I see.
This reorder button,
Mm-hmm.
this can be a little confusing at times because it doesn't actually reorder the medication from the pharmacy. If we click reorder, we can choose, this guy doesn't have a pharmacy in, but we could pick the pharmacy if it had it in there. If we need the RX number, and you are the one that is requesting this reorder, and then you could put any notes in here. And if you save that, I don't know if it has not
okay. So
anyways, what that does is that puts that information onto a report that we can pull, and we could fax that to the pharmacy, and they would know those were the medications that you need reordered.
So I just I have to create that report and then fax to them.
Yeah, we would go under this fax, print, and reports.
Whenever they're running out the medication, is that when we use that one? Whenever they are running out the medication?
Yes, you can use that reorder, and as long as you have all that information in there, the prescription number, the pharmacy, what doctor, and then when you come in here, you can search medication. Heidi, which report is that for the med reorder?
I think that one, yeah.
Search for the word reorder. That's what I usually do.
Yeah, that's what I did, but I'm not sure which one it is here.
Oh. Medication reorders, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you would choose which pharmacy, and then you could create the report.
What about the send fax? What that means, send fax?
That's if you have our internal
I see.
fax.
Yes, which I do. Which I will do.
Yeah, I know
okay.
he was talking to you about that.
Sure.
Yep. So then you would be able to fax it right from the system to the pharmacy.
Awesome.
I'm gonna make this report available for you so that you have it in your campus here. Would you like it for administration and RN only?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to put it in one of these tags that will make it a little bit easier to search for? Maybe a favorites tag?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that will be available for you. So we are almost out of time for today, but do you have any questions about adding new medications or going over how to edit, reschedule, hold, discontinue a medication?
No.
Okay. Do you have a date in mind that you would like to meet next? And um,
As soon as possible, actually.
okay, because we still will need to make sure all of the information gets entered into the residence chart.
Sure.
Uh,
That's the
yep,
homework.
and
That's the homework. Yeah.
yep, the homework. And then I know you said your nurse has some experience with our tasks. Is there a time that your nurse would be able to meet also so that I can go over everything and make sure they don't have any questions?
Actually, she works Monday through Friday, so it's up to you.
Does she work with you Monday through Friday?
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Any day that would be good for you, or even just your nurse, if your nurse wanted to meet, you're welcome to meet as well. If you want to talk with your nurse and get back to me, or if you want to set up a meeting and then invite the nurse.
We can set up right now.
Okay. Do you have a date in mind? Like, I have availabilities.
When?
I'm available. Let's see here. Wow. I don't know how my calendar got into December. It's not anywhere near December yet. I'm available. I have some availability pretty much every day next week.
Let's do Monday then.
Okay. I have a noon, or let's see, I have noon or 4 o'clock on Monday.
4 p.m. you mean?
Yeah, 12 p.m. or 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Okay. Do you think your nurse will be
No. Let's change it, that one.
Okay.
Let's do the 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay. Do you think your nurse will be available that day?
Yes.
Okay, so then we can go over.
Okay.
You know what? I don't think Heidi's available at 1 o'clock that day. Do you want to choose a different day?
To which day?
Okay, let me look here. I have 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m.
2 p.m.
Okay. All right, so if your nurse is available, then we can go over the assessment and how to do some other things, such as sending medications out of the facility, narcotic counts, a lot of stuff with the medications we can do if you're able to get some medications entered into the system. That would be wonderful. And I'll reach out to Jeratom and get that code.
Okay, I would like to ask you, but that code, I have 2 questions.
Sure.
And how many training that left after today, or after Tuesday?
Well, we still have to go over like notes and note types, documentation, entering.
So how many session? How many session?
Well, you can take the trainings. We do have trainings available, so that if you want to go ahead and take those, that's possible. For the clinical training, you want to show him those?
Oh, sure. Yes. So up here, so my name over here in the right-hand corner, if you're logged into the system, you can go to here where it says support and sign up for our regularly scheduled training sessions.
Mm-hmm.
It brings you to this site, and then we have free unlimited training, and these are our classes that we have. The clinical and assessment training, this course is intended for nurses and administrative staff. So if you click on that, it will bring you to this page where you can register for this training. it brings you to our calendar. We have one scheduled for tomorrow. And also, starting in November, it will be twice a week. So if you chose the one that you wanted to attend, you click on it, you type your name here, put in your email address, and you want to put in the email address that they are going to send you the link for the meeting. So make sure it's a good, email address that you're going to be able to get into and get that link. You can put in your organization, and then if you have more than one person attending, you can choose how many are attending, and then you register for it, and it will send you a link exactly like I send you for our Ring Central meetings.
Yes.
We use Ring Central for our training sessions as well.
I see. So, but still, we have to keep our training on Tuesday, right? 2 p.m.
Well, that's up to you. If you wanted to take the regularly scheduled trainings and then we could meet and check in if you have any questions, that's totally up to you. But we can keep our meeting on Tuesday as well.
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay. And
But
I know
also, the second question is, when you're getting code from Geratom,
yeah.
an effective date that we can is using your program, I'm thinking about November 15th. So is that possibility, or we have to delay?
Yep. Nope, that will be perfect. We should have the code and everything pushed over from Geratom prior to our meeting on Tuesday. So we should be able to go over all of that as well.
I see. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And then, as soon as you, your nurse and your staff are able to get all of the homework entered, the rest of the resident information, their diagnoses, service plans, get medications entered, the faster we get that entered, then the closer we are to being able to get you guys up and going.
Okay.
All right, well, I will go ahead and send out this meeting invite, and I will send an email with everything we discussed today, and then just a reminder on the homework we have, okay?
Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, any other questions for today?
No.
All right, and you can go ahead and sign up for any of those classes if you would like.
I got it. Okay.
All right, well, let us know if you have any questions, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank
One
you.
one more question.
Sure.
And is your organization, in case we have an audit or survey, do you know organization of people that can come for your office to help us to
Well, what typically, if you're using our system and you have survey that comes, a lot of them are familiar with our system, and so they'll ask for specific reports.
I see.
And we do have a nice category of reports that we can enable for your system called State of Minnesota Survey. And then if you have any questions or need help with those reports, getting those for the surveyors, you just call us and
Yes.
we
Okay.
will help as much as we can.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. All right, well, I will be sending that email out shortly then, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good day.
Same to you.
All right, bye-bye.